Well, hello there. The interwebs is treating you bad today, and you ended up at Mr. E's Mysteries and Magics. Hey, stick around for the video. So anyway, what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about these kind of nifty mentalism cards that my friend Macaro was kind enough to send me when I recently won a giveaway that he was sponsoring. This came as a surprise. I did not know that these were coming in the package, and I've never used these before. I've seen them around. I've seen them demonstrated. I've seen videos of them and so on. And they're kind of interesting. Then I played with them, and I found even more interesting stuff with them. So what are they? Well, these are cards with a series of numbers on them, if you can see that. Okay? Maybe if I hold it this way. A little bit of light. You can see this, a series of numbers, all right? They are actually in numerical order by column this way. Okay, not across like you might expect, but up and down. Okay, they're actually in numerical order all the way through. The interesting thing about this is these numbers go from a low of 1 to a high of 60. A person can give you, can think of a number, whether it's their age or something like that. If you know the person's age, you really can't tell them to, give me your age. But a random number between 1 and 60, and by looking at particular cards, you can tell what number they came up with. The way it works is that for all the numbers 1 through 60, believe it or not, there is only one unique combination of cards that indicates that number. Now, it's not all 6 cards, all right? It could be 1 card. It could be all 6 cards. It could be 2 cards. It could be 3 cards. It doesn't have to be these 3. It could be these 3. Doesn't matter. With all these cards, there are at least 60, and I believe there might be 63 combinations total, but I will explain that in a minute. But the 1 through 60, each number has its own unique combination of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 cards that will indicate that one single unique number. All right, so that's pretty cool. All right, so you can do that, and that's the trick. You can, it's kind of a fun mentalism thing, and the kind of thing that would work really good maybe with kids. So I started looking at these cards a little bit more carefully because, like I said, I'd never seen them before, not up close and personal. And what you do is, the key to the things is the number up in this upper left-hand corner, whatever cards they hand you and say, oh, well, first of all, step number 1, you give them the cards. They look through the cards, find the ones that have their particular number on it, and hand them to you. Okay, so let's say 25. So, all right, this one's got it. This one does not. This one does not. This one does. This one does not. And this one does. Okay, so these 3 cards are the unique combination that will add up to 25. How do we know? We add up the number in the upper right corner. 16, 8, and 1 is 16, 8, 24, and 1 is 25. So you know that the number that they were thinking of was 25. That's the only combination. The black card, the purple card, and the green card is the only combination that will give you 25 if you add up the numbers in the upper left corner. All right? So, all right, how does that work? Well, my friends, I realized after looking at these things that you can take this to a next level with just a little bit of memorization. And the interesting thing about it is, even if you have never even heard of these cards, you already, right now, in your own brain, have half of the memorization done already. Yes, that's right. You haven't even started, and you've already got half of what you need to remember in your brain. How do we know that? Because the number in the upper left-hand corner follows this progression. This is 1. This is a 2. This is a 4. This is the 8. All right, you getting the picture? That's an 8. Following this, 16, 32. The cards follow a geometric progression of times 2 up to card 32. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. It's that simple. That much of it you already have memorized. You can figure that out without any problem at all. The other thing you have to memorize is depending on how elaborate you want to make your effect, the color of the cards. Now, in this case, they're green, pink, red, purple, black, and blue. All right? My mnemonic device for remembering that is green is go, pink leads to red, and if somebody punches you in the eye, your skin turns purple, black, and blue. Green, pink, red, purple, black, and blue. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Bingo, that's all you've got to know. What can you do with this? A lot of cool things, actually. Step number 1, you can turn your back to the person. All right, and this is kind of an interesting illusion because you're turning your back, but they're going to tell you exactly what you would have been looking at if you didn't turn your back. But by turning your back, you make it a little bit more mysterious. You have them pick out the number. All right, and again, let's see. We will let's go with 35. So that's on this card. It's on this card. It is not on that card. It is not on that card. It's not on that card, and shouldn't be on this. It is on this card. Okay, so you've got that information. They've got one stack now that has their number on it, and they have one stack over here that does not have their number on it. All right, so at this point you say to them, what color are the cards that have your number on it? And they'll say green, pink, and blue. And you can say to yourself, all right, I know green, pink, and blue. The blue is the last one, so it's 32. Green is first, and pink is second, so 1, 2, and 32. There's your 35 right there. You can do it that way. You can have them choose to do it this way. You can say to them, pick one pile. The pile that has your number or the pile that doesn't have your number. Pick one of the two, and that's the one we'll work from. I would imagine most people will try to mess you up by picking the pile that does not have their number. So what do? Well, you have them tell you the colors, red, purple, and black. All right, so we know that red, purple, and black is 4, 8, and 16. So that's 24, and 4 is 28. Now, you know that's not their number, all right? You have to do one more calculation. Keep in mind the number 28, all right? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 adds up to a total of 63. Take 63, subtract 28, and what do you get? Yeah, 35. So by memorizing the numerical order is nothing, but by memorizing the color order, you can do the routine that way. With your back turned and just having them tell you whether the pile is the pile with their number or the pile without, and the color of the cards, and you can figure it out in your head. Honestly, guys, I'm sure that makes the effect a little bit more elaborate and mystifying. I have not had a chance to try it, but it sure sounds like it would be a cool thing to try. The other thing, and this is really cool what you can do with this if you're really into trying to make this weird, is have them put the cards in the particular piles, whatever their pile is. Let's use a different number. Let's do something other than an obvious. If they say something like their number 16, black, right away. The card that I have that has my number on it is just it's black. That's it, just the black. Okay, 16. You know that, right? Easy peasy. All right. So, what else can you do? Well, here's what I'm getting at. You can actually have them give you a number. Have them separate the cards out into the two piles as normal, and have them tell you the number, and you can tell them what color cards are in the pile that has their number and what color the cards are in the pile that doesn't have their number, because obviously whatever's left over is going to be what's in the non-number pile, right? Just by giving you the number. You have to do a little bit more mental gymnastics, because again, each number has a unique combination. So, you know, if the number is 32 or 30, let's say 34, well, you know that it's pink and it's blue, because 32 is the highest number that you have on the cards. 32 minus 2, and there you go. There's your two colors. You kind of have to figure that out a little bit by working it down through the progression of numbers: 32, 16, 18. If the number that they pick is below 32, you start with obviously the 16 and see how many times, you know, that fits in. And you may have to juggle things around in your head a little bit to get the absolute minimum number of cards with that number progression, if you understand what I'm saying here, in order to get the right colors. Now, just one last thing to point out is that, as I mentioned earlier, the cards only go up to 60, but the number you need to remember to subtract from, if they give you the colors of the non-number pile, is 63. All right, the 61, the 62, and the 63 are not part of this particular set. Okay, just they stop at 60, but the key number you have to remember is in fact 63, but they will never be able to pick 61, 62, or 63. And that, my friends, is how you do a mentalism trick with cards that are weird and bizarre and look like they really aren't all that special. But if you think about it and work out some cool things to do with it, you'll always leave them baffled.